Hey, this is Ken with the Black and Yellow Garage. Have here today a 2002 Chevy Suburban with a 6.0 liter engine in it. A customer called, said it would not start. It would crank, it would fire off for about 3 seconds and run for about 3 seconds, then die. So thought I might have a problem with the pass lock system on this. So normally what you're going to have is you're going to have the security light flashing like this. So on the original vehicle, when I had the door open, the security light would flash like that. Okay, so when I turn the key, I've got two lock cylinders in here. When I would turn the key, the information center would just display the battery with the problem in place. I never got the security light, so on every crank, it would crank, start, run for about 3 seconds, and then die. So I really didn't know what to do to test it. Figured it might have been the ignition switch itself, which is the wiring harness here that goes to the lock cylinder housing. Same results. Tried to replace the cam position sensor, same results. Crank position sensor, same results. So then I started doing some more research. I worked on this thing for a couple of days trying to figure out what test to do. And this morning I'm bouncing back between working on this and other vehicles, so it's not like I'm on this for days at a time. The signal wiring that goes in the top of the lock cylinder housing here normally, so I have the second housing that I'm going to install permanently. These wires here, the red wire is for voltage. The black and orange and black wire in this case was, according to them, it was in some reports on the wiring diagram, was a reference wire, and then the yellow wire was a signal wire. The yellow wire is the signal wire that says to the BCM, body control module, that I have what I need, let this engine start, and the body control module relays that to the PCM or ECM, and that allows the PCM to let the engine continue to run. So without having that signal, you get the shutdown. So the testing for this was, I tested voltage on the red and white wire. It wasn't quite 12. I think I had 10, 5, 10, 7. When you turn the key, it dropped down some. Maybe 2 tenths, I guess, of a volt. On the yellow wire, I believe you're supposed to have resistance coming out of this unit here, where my thumb is. And when I probed it with my ohm meter, I had nothing. So that's why I had ordered the lock cylinder housing, and didn't attach it, just put the switch into it. The original key is in there. Did the relearn process with 10 minutes on. Try to crank it. Leave the key in the run position for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, turn it off, and then try to crank it again. Do that 3 times, where you're back again to 10 minutes after a crank attempt. So 3 10 minutes, resting in the run position. Each time you have to have 10 seconds off, and on the 3rd time, it stayed running. So a lot of parts went on that didn't need to go on. Right now I have the new wiring harness, a new cam position sensor, a new crank position sensor, and I'm going to keep those parts just for the shop. I know I probably won't have one come in here, but I'm going to just leave the new parts on and let the customer roll with it. So the testing part of this is online. I saw a lot of information about the light should be flashing, the security light. During the learning process, I would have the security light flash maybe 3 times, then the battery light come on. Then it would come back on with the security, and I think that's the way it's supposed to work. So a lot of the instances that I saw in the chats where I don't have any security light flashing, okay, which is the same scenario I had. Only with the door on did the light flash. Door open, I'm sorry. So, door's open right now, and I just still have the battery light on. So I think a lot of the problem was that the advice given to in the chat rooms was not quite helping the people with the same similar problem, because they never did have the security light flashing, which is this piece. That's the culprit. Okay? So it's not sending the signal out, and the car thinks it's okay, security wise. But as soon as I, installed everything here, that's when I started to have the security light flash and then go back to the battery. So again, this vehicle will start up now and run. Okay, stays running. Don't know why we had that long crank. If that continues to have a problem, I'm going to go ahead and put the old crank position sensor and cam position sensor back in. I hope this video helps somebody, especially somebody that is trying to go to the chat rooms and or the forums, I'm sorry, and get this information where they're trying to relay the fact that they don't have the security light flashing. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.